This is the People's Champ, episode number 2. You know, our folks out there in 94 Feet of Life, they did so well with the questions the first go round. We said, hell, let's give it another go round. So we're gonna be in and out, y'all. We're gonna try to keep this in about 30 minutes, maybe 40. You know how we do it. We never really on format. Shout out to Trav, J Ham joining us real soon, fellas. First of all, how was your long weekend? What's going on? What's going on in your sports, in your basketball minds tonight?
Dude, it's now it's real focus for basketball for me. I mean, always I watch it, but since my team got smacked in the face last night, really gonna be involved in it. So now I can really get into it like I want to, and not just keep up, but just to analyze and break down the game, man. Y'all probably gonna be seeing more snippets of film breakdown and stuff from me. So be on the lookout for that.
Well, listen, it's an interesting time for you, Trav. We know your beloved Buccaneers.
Beloved, I.
It's transition going on with both your squads. The Buccaneers, is this the end of Tom Brady? Is this not? And then in San Antonio, it's no victories.
Pop, put that on speed down, man. Put it on speed down. Yeah. That's the only way you'll stay in the league, if you put that man number on speed down.
Now, on the opposite side of no victories for Victor, it's a lot of winning going on in Shelby County, Tennessee.
Victory for John.
As we are taping this, it's 10 in a row. And this is how I know it's going well in Memphis. I've known J Ham for literally 10 years. And I can say this, and I'm going to let him speak on some more before we get into the people's question. Ham, as y'all can tell, very relaxed, very calm, very chill brother. I've never heard him excited about anything until about the last 2 years. There's a level of excitement about his Grizzlies. He wasn't this excited about the original Grit and Grind. He wasn't this excited when Penny Hardaway got hired. But now, he tuned in nightly to the Grizz. Hands 10 in a row. Is this the most fun you've had as a basketball fan in your basketball life?
Probably. I won't say it's standalone. You know what I'm saying? I think it's probably some other times that I could equate, along with that. I would have to think about it a way. That's actually something to think about and make another video about one day, Big Shot. Look on it. All things considered, not just the 10 in a row on the grid side. Tigers playing some good hoops too. You know what I'm saying? They dropped one. What was that last week? I think midweek last week. I think they dropped one double OT to Central Florida. Central Florida's a good squad. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to Dawkins. That's his crew. They got the win at the Horn the other day in Temple, and got one of the best guards in America, Kendrick Davis. You know what I'm saying? I just want to start there, get them they shine on the Tigers end. The Grizz end, man, right now, I've been talking about it on our show, any show that I've been on, our show, the Happy Hour with my man Johnny Radio, on Fridays on 98.5 FM, or the B-League podcast with my good friend Sharon King Brown of the Memphis Flyer. We trying to plan a parade route in the city of Memphis, somewhere downtown. I don't know how we gonna secure this thing, but we get, it's just realistic, but that's just where our energy is. You know what I'm saying? They playing well. We finally got them all back in one one group, said everybody's back together. Somebody might have a night off, but you're not having like long-standing, periods of guys missing right now. And right now, they playing their best ball. So it's cool to see. I don't care nothing about no one seed, though. I don't care nothing about no best record, none of that. Let's get to May. Late April, May. Let's count it from there. Let's rock from there.
You know what? It's very few. Obviously, winning a championship is the ultimate. That's what everybody wants. But as a basketball fan, it's very few things that are more exciting than when your team is on the cusp and you see something that's building. I can think back to my days when like the late 80s Bulls, like before the three-peat, when you start to see it, it's like, okay, we got the big star, Jordan. Y'all got the big star in Ja. Scotty and Horace Grant are starting to grow up. For Memphis, I don't know if they're already grown up because they've been here now. The Baines, the Jaren Jackson, the Brandon Clarks, like you start to see it building, and that's an exciting time to be as a fan when you see it come. The same thing for a squad like New Orleans with Zion now reasonably healthy, with an Ingram, with a CJ, Herb Jones. I tell you what, and I put this in a group, y'all just gonna have to deal with the fact that y'all gonna have these small market teams in this West Final. Deal with it. Because some combination of Denver, Memphis, we talk about New Orleans, and this leads to our first question, folks. Our man, Coach B, Barry Milburn, feel-good story of the year. And I talked about it last week. Listen, the Rock said Sacramento sucks in 2003. It definitely don't suck right now. I'll tell you that. So,
but I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. I had to get that one in. You should have dropped it.
Dude, that is crazy. Like
De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis on ESPN The Jump, they're getting like national finally. Well, they ain't done nothing to really deserve national coverage. But listen, to me, if my feel-good story, folks, we go around the horn, I think it's Sacramento.
Dude, the Lakers are the worst team in California.
Did he say in the NBA or in basketball show?
We can go whatever. If you want to go feel good basketball, you in the league, whatever. We open-ended. We keep it open-ended.
I'm watching one right now in Kansas State. Shout out to Coach Jerome Tang. You know what I'm saying? You got fans over here, Coach Tang. We rock with you over here. I ain't even tuned in to the track that my guys know about you. I just grab the credibility off, what they say. But he got Kansas right now. Yeah, they got Kansas right now. They up 6, second half, about 10 minutes to play or whatever. And he carved out some big wins. He carved out some big wins to start. And so shout out to him, man. This first season in Manhattan, so
it's like 14-1, 15-1, something like that right now.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna rock with them on this.
Man, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, with you saying that, I just like again, Zion is healthy, man. Zion's healthy.
Yeah.
With him healthy, dude, the Pelicans are a tough team to beat, man. When I hear feel good and stuff like that, I usually think about like injuries and how people come back. Like Clay. Clay was such a feel good story for me because I vouch. Y'all know how I am about Klay Thompson. I vouched for him very tough, and he came. He pulled through and won a chip off that. But it hasn't been those types of stories like that. But you named like Sacramento, and again, I named like Zion. I don't see too many stories like that, but I'm just happy that like people can say Brooklyn is a feel good story.
Right now,
If
yeah.
you put it that way, Brooklyn's a feel good story because of all the turmoil, all the ruckus been going on, the Kyrie stuff, the Kevin Durant stuff, the Steve Nash stuff. They done wiped all that stuff aside.
Yep.
And they're second place in the East.
Now, I want to be a heel real quick, but I'm also going to be a homer heel. My man got a shoe release this year. I'm just saying that. And you see the way that they did the shoe release on Christmas Day with his daughter and the whole deal. You seeing the rise of the young star. So for us here in Memphis, that's a feel good story. We'll have that kind of activity down there like this. We're gonna get that problem.
And we talked about this 2021, and I think it's now come to that point. Is he the biggest star in the history of Memphis? Unless unless we got to go to like Jerry the King Lawler. Prime.
I think he got low. I think the shoe release. I think he took him one notch ahead of Lawler because Lawler sold out the Coliseum. That's just like 11,000. Try to put 18,000 in the Forum on a regular basis. I mean, include Jerry Lawler himself. Lawler be at the game. You see him down there with the Grizzly blue tights, with the Beale Street blue. Like, why you wearing tights to the hoop game, Lawler? Whatever, but
he always on. He always on. Now, the opposite of feel good, and this goes to our man Matthew Gordon, the trade deadline. And this is where, to me, this is not about feel good. There's some teams who just need something to change, and something got to happen. And I live down here in Atlanta, and I can tell you right now, somebody got to go.
And it ain't going to be Trey.
It's not going to be Trey. Not going to be the Giants. I think the Hawks have, first of all, I think they got to, John Collins has been on the trade block since 94 been open.
He been trade bait for the longest, man.
So I think to me, it's got to be free John Collins, number one. And if you're going to get rid of Nate, do it. Just do it. I think that thing it's ugly. I put it like that. It's ugly.
Question within a question. Is Nate fall into that category where it's like you too OG now? Where he can't really relate. He don't have the patience to relate like that no more.
I think to me, if I were the Hawks, if you do your due diligence, I'm taking a swing with Udoka.
Why not?
If Amy got a lot of smoke behind her. A lot of smoke.
But you get to Atlanta?
I mean, why not? Why not? Why not?
And Jay, let me tell you something. I think the same thing. If you had problems,
I like it though. I like it.
Jay, but the thing is, and I feel you, because if you couldn't deal with being in Boston, I don't know what you're gonna do here.
Yeah.
Trust me, I have been to some Hawks games, and let me tell
you. I told y'all what my experience was on the elevator the last time I was down there. So
I give you another team that need to trade. I want y'all to chime in. I think Toronto's another team where it's not going the way you thought. Van Fleet doesn't sign the extension. If there is a trade market for Van Fleet, I'm looking at it. I think if there's a trade market for Gary Trent, I'm looking at it. I think Scotty Bone, I think other than Scotty and Pascal, everybody else can go.
I agree. Because I mean, you do really got a bunch of 6'8" dudes that I don't pretty much do the same shit.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what? You know, man, I think this team may need some of those Raptor pieces. Or that Atlanta piece. And this team, y'all know I was on this team tough. I almost became a fan, but they were just too much of a two and a possible to me. And that was Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City can use a couple more of them pieces. Oklahoma City is winning with two dudes that's just hooping.
Yeah.
Gideon and Shea. They just out there getting it. They just out there getting it, and they're getting wins.
They just don't know how to win on the road yet. But they
exactly. They need like two more guys, one more guy that can just get it.
And to me, Trav, they got 8,000 first round picks.
Do something with them.
You're not gonna use them all.
Do something though.
Do something with it.
Do something with it for sure.
Got to.
John,
you just Memphis 2-3-0.
John Collins with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Ham, let me ask you this, because you are in that classic contender spot. You haven't won a chip yet, but we're right there. And you look at the landscape of the West and even the East.
Hell no.
And you've been a proponent of hold the line.
Hell no.
You want to hold? Okay, there it is.
And here's what I say this. Prior to this 10-game run, Gary Trent, I remember when MJ, shout out to our guy MJ, he actually put the real deal like proposal together in terms of what would be the best possible fit if we were gonna move them. The best look at the time was Gary Trent, because you're gonna get it on the defensive end, and he don't require as much usage as what you was having to do with Dillon. Now that's been somewhat tamed down. Dillon really got locked in on locking folks up. He'll get his in the offense. He didn't. Now, just as I say this, he'll go back to being straight.
He'll be hawking them.
This is I say that shit, he'll go right back to hawking. But during this stretch run of it, he just really kind of been focused and locked in on getting it on the defensive end primarily, and then getting his wherever he can get his on the offense, which he still gets his opportunity. You know what I'm saying? He's still making plays for himself, great for others too. I don't want to touch that. Also, let him bet on himself and play for his big money, because he's the one that's on expiry. Let's see what's up. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't got to touch nothing right now, no. But then the deadline is what, 3 weeks away?
February 9th.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
Again, he can start hawking and change the whole complexion of that whole philosophy right there. Just shit go to haywire. But it's something to keep your eye on. If we're gonna make a move, that would be the one. To see if you can actually make some form of an upgrade, not necessarily from a talent standpoint, but from a fit standpoint. And I don't know if it's a better fit right now.
You know about that though? It's like Dillon, I think Memphis is really pushing him to buy in.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If he buys in, he will stay. Because if he leave, who you gonna lean to? Danny Green?
No, I think the next up, and I mentioned this when I was on 98.5 the other day. I'm like, it's really Zaire Williams' spot
Really is.
to go
Really
get.
is.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
really
It's like,
is.
and he coming with it too. It's like you got to remember, he really should be a sophomore. And, you know what I'm
Man,
saying? In
you got
college.
Zaire Williams, you got number 7 coming out there, man.
You got
Let's see what he
Santi, you got
plays.
John Conchar, you got cats that you can feel it, but it's a hard soul thing.
It's interesting, Han, because I remember in 2019, we were at a similar. Toronto was in a similar spot in 2019 around this time, where it was they made the Claw trade the previous summer.
Mm-hmm.
They had the ball.
Right, and that was where I was going. Jonas Valanciunas and Marc Gasol, talent-wise, there wasn't a big difference. But for what Toronto was needing, Gasol was the better fit, as Trav talked about. So could you, and it would be a tough deal, could you go to Toronto and say, and OG Anunoby or Trent, the talent difference is not much with Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
But does it fit what we want to do?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you watch more Grizzlies hoop than me, but I think that's going to be the trade if you're Memphis. It's not going to be like the blockbuster.
No.
But is it
It's one of them.
at a slightly better fit?
It's gonna be something, yeah, like a better fit, something valuable, something that can impact you. Not as big, but can fit just as well.
And see, when you got the whole crew coming back together and finally getting a chance to really gel all in together, now you start to see where it fits with Dylan. It's like, don't touch
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying? Just in that, it's like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying, for right now. But we'll see how wrong or right we are.
Hey, I tell you what, you got to give the who's the Grizzly GM here?
Zach Clyde.
Young fella.
Young fella, the move, he might have made the move of the offseason on the low. The Tyus Jones re-signing,
Yeah.
because Tyus, listen, there was somebody said in the crew, I think it was Desmond Spears, like Russell Westbrook for $6 million a year. Good call. But if we're not looking at the dude scoring buckets off the bench, if we're looking at really who's been the best player off of a bench in the league, I think Tyus might be the best player off the bench in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Memphis Twitter has called him the best backup point guard in basketball the last 2 seasons. It's just what it is. And they beating the drum for him because it's like, yo, we don't lose much when we got dude on the floor, and we can still play him with y'all.
Right.
He is on that Jalen Brunson trajectory. Maybe not as dynamic a score, but where you just kind of keep playing yourself into bigger and bigger money, bigger and bigger roles. He's been great.
21, I think he averaged like 21 and 7 and 3 steals or something like that in the game that he starts.
It's
like, right. He's like 7. I think they're like 6-1, 7-0 or whatever when he starts too. So he's doing his thing, man. But then, like I tell people though, you gotta remember this dude was 18 years old and took over an NCAA national championship.
Oh, that 2015. Don't start with that.
I'm just saying, how many other 18, especially 18-year-olds?
He really did. Him and Grayson. Him and Grayson.
Right. 2 18-year-old freshmen.
Him and Grayson, they just came out of nowhere with that.
Yeah. Now, we talked about contenders in the West. Denver right now. Denver's another one. Memphis and Denver right now 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Darius English said, this is an interesting question. He said, when does Nikola Jokic get held accountable, whatever you want to term accountable, for not getting deep into the playoffs? Now when he posed the question, I kind of side-eyed it at first. Like, what do you what's that? Like that every time I hear that word, I kind of get some first take vibe. But then I thought about it a little bit more. I'll get y'all opinion. Jokic is back-to-back MVP. And working on a third. Like, like right now, he's a leading contender. Is there an argument, and I heard Nick Wright talk about this, shout out to Nick Wright, when he's not being hot takers, this is a decent point. If you do win a third straight MVP, or you've now won back-to-back MVPs, not many back-to-back MVPs or multiple-time MVP guys have never made a conference final as also part of that. That doesn't happen a lot. So is this where Jokic, and Trav, go ahead, is this where Jokic, now you say, all right, Jokic, you got 2 MVPs on your resume, but we've never been to late May. Is there some validity? Because when he's asked the question, I was like, eh. But as you start to look at basketball history, how many guys can you say have multiple MVPs and never been to a conference final?
I'm going to start it off like this. Larry Bird was he the first three-peat MVP?
Off the top of my head, yeah.
Yeah.
What was those years?
80.
84, 85, 86.
Yeah, 84, 85, 86.
And when did they win the championship?
84 and 86.
So 84, 86. So 85, they got beat.
Right. Motherfuckers went to the final.
They went to the finals. They went to the final. Conference final.
It was finals. It was championship. Lost in the finals. Championship.
Okay. Did they hold Larry Bird to it?
No.
Okay. Now that's just a three-peat deal. Let's do this individually now. Let's go David Robinson. David Robinson got the MVP in front of Dream Face, correct?
Yeah, that was conference 5. Yeah.
That was conference. Did they hold him accountable? No.
I mean,
No.
How could you hold anybody accountable for that?
That ain't cold. But David Robinson been hooping the whole time.
I mean, right. I mean,
yes.
Dream was on the fucking warpath.
Exactly. But you don't hold him accountable. Let's go 93. Charles Barkley got MVP.
He did all he could.
He did everything but park cars and sell popcorn. Did you hold him accountable?
Right. Looks solid with me, man.
Let's go to 97. Karl Malone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hold him accountable. I don't like Karl Malone.
But leave the person out of it.
But if you
understand.
But if you look at what Trav is saying, everybody he's named, conference finals at worst.
Right.
Exactly. But see, the reason why I'm saying this, because I know where that is going. It's going to a 38-year-old man that has gotten MVPs and has went to finals and lost. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Because to be honest, if you're a real purist of the game, you don't even hold him accountable for it. His team just wasn't better.
The key is how did you play? Right? Mm-hmm. Like, example, obviously they weren't neither man was the MVP. But like how Phoenix lost to Dallas last year was an awful ending. one of the worst endings you can have. If you want to slander Chris Paul and Devin Booker for that, have at it.
Have fun.
Oh, man.
Have fun.
But on the flip, can I slander LeBron in 2015 when he averaged like 38, 12, and 6 against the Warriors and they didn't make
You
it?
don't. That's the whole point.
Now, I'm also not going to give him Finals MVP consideration with the 6-game series loss either.
Right.
But I'm going to acknowledge he was a monster. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is.
For Darius, so here would be my answer. If Jokic wins MVP, or let's say he finishes in the top 3 of the MVP, let's go with that. If Denver doesn't make the conference finals this year, have at it.
I'm still gonna say, let's see what the film say. If he didn't play well, or if it was something that he could have really did to get them over the top, fair game. But if the man going out and he's shooting over 50%, he got 36, 18, and 13, and everybody else, well, if he got 36, 18, 13, he probably.
I mean, we gotta. I guess I know I maybe got like 1 or 2 more questions left.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to hold somebody accountable, it's only one person, and he's this like the little meme. He's that close of being held accountable.
Okay.
James Harden, Houston. That's the closest I give you to that word accountability.
Now,
that's the closest I would give you. That's the closest I'm gonna give you right there.
James has had James has had a couple of real ugly endings.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting question. I think so for Jokic, I don't know if he's there. I do think the third MVP, if it happens, definitely put you in the crossfire. Now, the third of a trifecta MVP definitely would. That puts you squarely because now you talk about the rare 3P. Because Larry, like I said, Larry Bird's the only one I can think of to have the 3P. So that's a good one. We're gonna keep an eye on this thing. All right, let's do a couple more questions, then we're gonna get up out of here. Jermaine Clark. Jermaine Clark wants to know a question about load management. He says, should the organizations be fined, held accountable for load management?
Probably.
I
don't know what are you going to do if you.
As long as people get hurt, load management is going to be effective use in the NBA.
There you go.
Who was that pretty much? That was Jalen Rose, I think, that kind of broke down the logic that they not so much as interested. They cool with you playing 65 as opposed to 82 because they got a longer term investment from out of 65. You know what I'm saying? In terms of your usage and the mileage and all of that. And they just looking at that different. You know what I'm saying? It's a different game, man. I mean, cats gonna beat their chest for playing 82, but 82 at this pace against these kind of athletes, good luck. You're gonna be like James Harden, catching that late May, June criticism about why you ain't come through.
Go 3 for 20 in game 7.
Right,
get that.
Right,
Yeah,
you tired.
James had that oil light come on James, but
you can see it. Boy, you can see it. You can see it. That was one of the few games who like.
Especially that y'all beat them when he just melted down. I was like, no,
you can see it's like he just
down.
Well.
Yeah,
That's all it was. That's all it was. And I'm gonna tell you another player that actually did that number like that. Y'all like talking about that dog, but that dog game 6 in that bubble.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
game 5, that man put up 40. That man, he walked out that floor so bow-legged. I said, they done. They're done. The Lakers won and they lost. How can you lose? I mean, how can you win even in defeat? That was a perfect example.
Game 5 going over the game 6.
They interviewed him. That joker walking so bow-legged, man. That man was so hurt and tired, man. Game 6. Wiped
out. So look, we're gonna be back. We're gonna try to do this thing, man, just for the people, let the people know. Every Tuesday night, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, 94 Feet of Life. Subscribe to the channel. Keep your notifications on. But this is kind of gonna be, I think, gonna be our set time here. Fellas, before we close it out, because we don't want to keep the people on, anything as we getting in now, but 2 weeks left in the month, trade deadline. We talked about our trades that almost happened show is coming in about 2 weeks. We're gonna have some fun.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trades almost happened. We're gonna come through with that a little bit. But anything else going on in the league and college that you want to do? Quick shout out, quick hit on.
I don't have too many at this time. It's just it's back to the lab. I go now, man.
If y'all make sure y'all vote for All-Star, because we don't want to see all this crying about who got snubbed, all that. And I'm gonna ask you, just like we do in the general election, did you vote?
Nope.
Did you vote, Chief? I'm just saying, you can have a whole lot of commentary, but if you ain't, it's easy to do, y'all. You ain't got to go to 7-Eleven no more and get the ballot box. You do that online. You be online anyway. NBA, we need plug for this promotion. I'm just saying, we need love for this.
What is the old meme? These kids will never understand.
They will never understand it, man. When you have to go to Mapco or 7-Eleven and actually fill out the actual All-Star ballot in the box with the decorated cardboard box that they got on the junk. Right, you know what I mean?
You get to punch the hole in the thing.
Punch a hole in it.
And then, or they got the little pencils where they had the little half of pencils like they have at the little lottery ticket station or whatever.
No eraser. No eraser.
No eraser.
Have so much tape on the top of you can't steal it.
And then you had to mail it back.
You had to mail it back. That's what I'm saying. No, man, that's just a click of a button. Shout out Ty Love bet every day. He voting every day.
Hey, listen,
I already know. I got Ty Love. He voting every day.
Is
make sure you vote for Chop Ty.
He ain't got nothing to do. The voting ballot place is right next door to McDonald's. Why not just stop by there?
I mean, but they ain't got no more McRib sandwiches no more for my guy. So it's in bad shape over there. He probably a little pissed with McDonald's right now.
And you think they stopped making a chicken McNugget?
Yeah, I mean, he like nuggets. I mean, it's all good though. That's my guy, man. Ty Love. Shout out to him.
Listen, we're gonna get out of here, man. Remember, subscribe to the YouTube, notifications on every Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, 94 Feet of Life, man. Thank y'all for y'all participation with the topics and the questions. You know, hey, we like coming up with stuff on our own, but we like to hear what the people have to say. This was beautiful.
I actually say we should let them do this a lot more because they be interactive.
Yeah,
like,
I think
we interactive people, man.
We might just do it like weekly. One question a week. The People's Champ question of the week.
There you go.
There you go. Trav in the building, Ham in the building, Coach MJ, Coach Les, our main man Derm, 94 Feet of Life, basketball